finally started a YouTube channel. Yep, me. It's your girl. I finally did it. I've been pretty lazy. No excuse. It took me a long time to finally feel like this is something I can add on to my already crazy life. I'm finally doing it though, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a really fun new journey for me, and I can stay motivated to keep doing it. I already feel weird doing this. I have to sit really far back from the screen because the sun's coming in. So I'm gonna scoot back now. I like to play relaxing music because it calms me down. Alright, so if you're watching this right now, I'm assuming you're from my Instagram. So I guess people coming to my channel. Sometimes my dog just like freaks out of nowhere. She sees like shadows on the wall and then she goes and stares just like that. Anyway, I guess for any future people coming to my channel, I'm going to introduce myself, and this video is also going to be sort of a life update of what's kind of going on. So yeah, for new people, my name is Jade. On Instagram, I'm Jade McKenzie with 2 E's. I'm 25 years old and I'm living in Salt Lake City, Utah. I model full-time for an online clothing store company, and I also do Instagram on the side as well as TikTok, which is so fun. So as for a life update, I guess I've been talking about starting YouTube for a while now. I would say like the last 2 years. I haven't really mentioned it on social media because I knew I couldn't really hold myself accountable. I just kind of played around with the ideas, but it just always seemed like so much work on top of everything else I was already dealing with and going through. And so much change has been happening. Yeah, it's just been crazy. Alright, with that being said, I moved here in June of 2020. Kind of hit me by surprise. I would never think I'd be back living here. I didn't want to come back, but you know, life has its funny ways sometimes, and you can't really decide what your future is. I should know that of all people. It's kind of been crazy though the last few 6 months. I literally thought I was going to be starting YouTube when I moved to Utah. I even filmed stuff, but I just never got around to it. Yeah, I'll kind of get into why where I've been the last 2 years and why I'm here now. I've kind of just been taking it all in and living here, and Utah's alright, I will say. It's not my favorite, but I have to be here for work, and I am trying to look at it in a positive light. I do have a few friends here, not a lot, like 3, I think. And my boyfriend also lives in Arizona, and he has lived in Arizona for all of our relationships, so we've always been long distance. But he is moving here on February 1st or the next week after that. We're kind of seeing where it lands. So I am excited for that. So yeah, if you have been following me though, especially for a while now or even a few years, you've probably seen my life kind of go like this. I've kind of jumped around where I've lived, but a lot of you have DM'd me wondering like why I've been in Utah to California to Idaho to back to Utah, and also wondering a lot of other personal questions that I don't really get into because it's been hard to talk about, and I don't think I'll ever really talk much about it, but I have been through so much. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know when I lived in Utah a few years ago, I was married, and then I got a divorce. And that was really hard. There was a lot of heartbreak that came with that, a lot of pain, a lot of feelings of being lost, and honestly a lot of confusion, not knowing really what to do or where to go. I didn't feel like I had a home anymore. Even though I did, I ran back home to my family immediately, but it was just, it all hit me so fast that I didn't really know how to be okay again, and I think that was probably my all-time low. I never knew pain like that existed either. But I got through it, and I'm still working through it, you know. It's just crazy to see where I am right now in my life, and I'm so much happier, and I've found peace in where I'm at and who I am, and I could honestly say I found love for myself, a love that I think I never knew that existed. And I also, I guess I could say I'm proud of myself. I really am, and I never knew I would like say that about myself. I'm pretty hard on myself. Yeah, it feels really good, and I'm really, really, really happy. Which is also crazy to say, like considering how much I've been through. feels damn good. When I moved to Utah, I actually wasn't modeling at all. I started modeling when I moved here, and I became more full-time. That's also when I met Morgan. We met at a photo shoot in Miami. We were on a red-eye flight together for the first time meeting each other. Had to share a hotel room, and we shot for like 4 days, but we clicked instantly and became best friends. After that, we started booking a lot of shoots together and kind of became known as a duo here in Utah for modeling jobs. But that's another story, Morgan and I and our journey. But I just kind of wanted to like say, like, I honestly believe everything happens for a reason, and it's all led to me where I'm at today. And if I hadn't have met Morgan, if I hadn't started modeling, if I hadn't gotten married and moved here, I would not be where I'm at, which is literally where I've always wanted to be without really knowing, of course. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I am so happy, and it's just so relieving because I never, ever, ever could find this. I was always so unhappy before, and I never really knew why. I was always trying to figure it out, and I figured out the problems, and I got rid of them, and slowly I worked myself back up, and it's crazy because it's just been like blessing after blessing, and I don't really know why sometimes or why I deserve it, but like, damn, like, I'm so happy right now. I know I keep saying that, but I really am. It's so refreshing. But moving to Utah, you know, and going through all of that, it shaped me. When I moved to Utah, I didn't know anyone a few years ago. It was just my married life. It's all I had. Once Morgan was brought into my life, I realized I just needed a friend. Things in my life weren't okay, and I needed to change things, and that's why I literally think, like, me and Morgan talk about this all the time. It's not just a coincidence we're friends. Like, it really was like a blessing, and I honestly feel like she was sent to me. And I'm just really grateful for her because I don't really know what I would have done, and she's a huge part in like where I'm at today. So Morgan, if you're watching this, I freaking love you. But again, we'll get more into that stuff another time. But as for now, I'm just kind of updating you again about where I'm at and why I'm here in Utah. After my divorce and things happened, I went back home to Idaho and took a break and stopped modeling completely to heal. And after a few months, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't go back to Utah either. And I called Morgan. I was like, let's just go to California for the summer and move there and just see what happens. And she was more than down. She left her family and her boyfriend and basically dropped everything for me. We had so much fun out there. We grew our Instagrams a lot. And after a little bit of time, Morgan ended up going back home to Utah because, you know, her life was out here. It was kind of my life. I was recreating and starting over, and she was there to help me start that move, which again, I'm so grateful for because I would have been able to do any of this without her. So I ended up getting back into modeling. I even moved to San Diego and got my own apartment. Everything was going great. I was starting over. I love San Diego with all my heart. It's probably where I would love to end up later in my life. I miss it a lot. But again, like I said, you can't predict your life, and it will kind of hand you things and you least expect it. So I followed this path, and I'm gonna see where it takes me. So yeah, I was out there. I just got into my apartment. I was already flying out here twice a month for a modeling job while also working out there, and it was working. And then another Utah modeling job contacted me, and I was like, okay. And they wanted to fly me out for a photo or a test shoot. So I went. And one thing led to another, and they ended up having me come out every other week almost and shooting for a few days. That seemed to work okay, and I was like really getting used to flying a lot. It was basically my life, and I would just have like a little bit of time back at home. It was getting hard, but then I was managing, I was handling it because I got the best of both worlds. I didn't have to live in Utah, but I got to live in San Diego, and I would go work there, and then, you know. But then the whole pandemic hit, and I remember talking to one of the owners of the company on the phone, and she told me basically if I wanted to take a risk and move out to Utah, that maybe they'd be able to give me a better, more consistent schedule. And it was also kind of risky with flying during COVID, you know, of course. I ended up taking that risk. As much as I didn't want to go to Utah, I felt like I couldn't pass up the opportunity. In San Diego and California, I was kind of like, getting job bookings was like you were chasing after it. Like I was my own manager, I was doing everything myself, so everything was me trying to find things, and I did, but it was like a hustle, you know, out there. Plus I didn't have morgues anymore. I had a few friends, I reconnected old friendships, and it was really fun and I miss them, but it was also a drive all the time out there, which kind of wore me down. But yeah, so I ended up taking this risk and I moved here fully knowing it'd be hard. So I packed up my things, I broke my lease, and I moved here. I drove here all the way from California. Well, I ended up driving home to Idaho first because I had an apartment hunt. Lived there for a bit while I tried to figure out where I was gonna live. I ended up driving back and forth from Utah and Idaho for work for the timing, which is about a 5-hour drive. But again, I said this job was worth it. I was okay with driving too. I lived in California and I would sit in 3 hours of traffic all the time. So yeah, I did that for a bit.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
And I finally was like over it. I'm like, I need a place in Utah. And so that's when I found this place. I fell in love like instantly. I didn't really look around. I just took the first one I found, and I can honestly say I'm really happy with where I live and my decision. I feel safe and I just love the location. It's very different from my other life in Utah, and that's what I needed. My boyfriend ended up helping me move in, and that was really fun. He's been here on and off every month because he lives in Arizona, but he's finally moving in. I'm not sure if I already said that. I don't think I have. I think I have said that part. But yeah, I'm excited for this new journey. I can honestly say that Utah has been getting better. I work with an amazing team of people, and they've honestly become like a second family to me while I've been here in Utah, and probably made Utah just a little bit better. But yeah, I'm excited for this new journey and to start YouTube and kind of film my daily life and fashion and beauty and skincare and indie and my relationship, and then me and morgues, of course, too. But let me also know what you guys want to see, and yeah, I look forward to the next one. Thank you for watching. Welcome to my crib.